everyone, I'm attorney Nathan Howser, and I'm making this video in an effort to explain my answer to a difficult and important question that I'm frequently asked by my clients. And that is, what is the value of my workers' compensation case? It's a very loaded question, and many types of benefits and other factors can contribute to the answer to the question, so I'm forced to answer it like this. It depends. But please allow me to explain. The value of a workers' compensation case is based on several different types of benefits, and it's important for the injured worker to know what those benefits are and how money values come from them. Now, there are four general types of benefits under California workers' compensation. I'm going to list all of them first, and then I'll provide a brief explanation of each one. And I hope that this eliminates some of the uncertainty that comes with filing a workers' compensation case if you have or if you plan on doing it. Please keep in mind that these types of benefits are due when a claim is accepted by the insurance company. If your case or cases have been denied by the insurance company, we may need to prove your case in front of a judge in order for you to get those benefits. Now, the four types of benefits of workers' compensation are temporary disability, permanent disability, or whole person impairment, the right to future medical care, and lastly, a job voucher or training for a new type of work. Let's start with the first, temporary disability. Temporary disability is owed when an injury causes lost time from work. There's two types of temporary disability, temporary total disability and temporary partial disability. Let's start with the first, temporary total disability, also known as TTD. TTD benefits are owed to an injured worker if the doctor says that a person should not work because of the work injury. It is also owed to an injured worker if a doctor thinks that because of the injury, the worker must work under certain restrictions, but the employer is unable to accommodate those restrictions. Those are the two ways that you can be entitled to TTD, temporary total disability benefits. The other type of temporary disability benefit is temporary partial disability, or TPD. TPD is paid to an injured worker when a doctor gives restrictions to a worker, and as a result, there is wage loss. For example, if a doctor says that a person should work no more than 4 hours a day, but before the injury, the person was working 8 hours per day, the person would be entitled to temporary disability benefits for the lost time from work. Occasionally, an employer will give an injured worker a different position that they can work while recovering from the injury, but that position pays less. In that situation, an employee would be entitled to wage loss while working in that other position. Now, how much do you get while on temporary disability? Well, if you're on temporary total disability, you're entitled to 2/3 of your average weekly wages. For example, if somebody earns $900 per week, while on temporary total disability, they'll be entitled to $600 per week. If a person is on temporary partial disability, the person will be entitled to 2/3 of the wages lost. Now, by law, there's a maximum of 2 years that someone can receive temporary disability for. There are very often disputes between the injured worker and the insurance company about the rate and the appropriate period of time for temporary disability. We will fight for you to obtain an appropriate period of temporary disability to allow you to recover from your work injuries and get back to work safely. Now, the next type of benefit is known as permanent disability. Permanent disability refers to the percentage of disability resulting from the work injury. When a doctor determines that you have reached maximum medical improvement and the doctor believes that the work injury has caused permanent disability to the affected body parts, the doctor will provide a percentage of disability for each body part. A doctor may also provide permanent disability for body systems that are injured as a result of the work injury. For example, if a person injured his or her lower back and the doctor believes that there's permanent disability to those body parts, the doctor can provide each body part with a percentage of permanent disability. There can also be permanent disability given to other body systems. For example, the cardiovascular system. So if a work injury or the medications taken as a result of the work injury lead to the development of high blood pressure, a doctor in the field of internal medicine can provide permanent disability for the high blood pressure provided that certain criteria are met. The total percentage of impairment caused by your injuries will have a very specific dollar value associated with it after being plugged into a formula which considers your age, occupation, and date of injury. There are very frequently disputes between the injured worker and the insurance company about the level of permanent disability. We will fight for you to get the maximum permanent disability award that you deserve based on the medical evidence in your case. The next type of benefit under California workers' compensation is the right to future medical care. When a doctor determines that an injured worker has reached maximum medical improvement, the doctor will give an opinion on what future medical care is necessary to treat the work injuries. An award of future medical care is a lifetime award. Disputes will arise between the injured worker and the insurance carrier about 1, what the appropriate future medical care is, 2, which body parts or body systems that you have the right to receive future medical care for, and 3, the approximate cost of future medical care if you decide that you want to settle your right to future medical care for a lump sum. We will fight to prove your right to future medical care for all of the body parts and body systems affected by your work injury, as well as the maximum dollar value if you decide to settle the right to future medical care. Now, the last benefit under California workers' compensation is the job voucher or job retraining. A job voucher is a benefit award to an injured worker when the work injury prevents the injured worker from returning to the job that he held at the time of injury. For dates of injury on or after January 1st, 2013, the job voucher is in the amount of $6,000. Disputes also frequently arise between the insurance company and the injured worker about whether the person has the right to a job voucher. If your injuries have prevented you from getting back to the line of work that you had when you were injured, we will fight for you to obtain that job voucher so you can receive training for a new type of trade. So let's review. There's 4 types of benefits under California workers' compensation: temporary disability, permanent disability, future medical care, or a negotiation of the value of future medical care, and lastly, the job voucher, if your injuries have prevented you from coming back to work. Now, other considerations can affect the value of a case, but it's necessary to review the very specifics of your case in order to give you an explanation. California workers' compensation is a very specific area of the law, and in my opinion, one should not try to navigate through it without the assistance of a sharp and aggressive attorney. If you would like a free consultation to discuss the facts of your case, please call or text the number on the screen, and we'll be happy to give you a free evaluation. Thank you, and take care.